Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the Global Racing Network. We're back once again for round number 5 of GRL Season 3. We're here for the Tier 1 race this evening from a very sunny Paul Ricard race circuit. Just waiting for the first few cars to emerge out of the pit lane. I think it's Dangerous Noob making his way out. No, it isn't. It's Josh JS Gaming. I do apologise for that. As he is going to be the first man to set a lap this evening here at Paul Ricard. We're on the south coast of France, not far from Nice. But it is a bit in the middle of nowhere is this racetrack, to say the least. There's a little airport next to it, but other than that there's nothing here. Apart from some very long straights and some very twisty technical braking zones and corners. And like I said, it's going to be Josh to open us up. This evening we do have a debutant as well. I will come along to them, not just to the Global Racing Network, but to GRL as well. But they are yet to emerge from the pits, so I won't go to them just yet. So we'll stick with Josh, who interestingly has gone out on the medium tyre, which is interesting. Couple of guys opting for the mediums. For some reason Mandro's got a set of inters on at the minute. I don't know if that's just a glitch or not. Surely not. Oh my goodness me. I don't know if this is a glitch or not. Please tell me in chat, guys. Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Or not? Please put your comments down below. I think I am. Yeah, well, that might explain it. Because he's just half spun. I don't know what Mandro is thinking there. That's could be a very costly mistake, to say the least. Why has he gone out on a set of inters? I do not know. So we'll skip back to Josh, who has had a very big accident as we just caught him coming out turn 7, that is, and he's knocked his front wing in the process. So he will not be the first man to get us on the board. The first man to get us on the board will be Ivy Whiffle in the Alpha Tauri, who has gone out on the soft tyres. As he makes his way through the next couple of corners, looking nice and tidy. Okay, thank you, chat. I didn't need that. Apparently it's raining heavily, right? Okay. I don't believe that one for 1 second. As Ivy Whiffle comes across the line, 130.6 to open up. Dylan Sucks at Cod just behind him in the Williams, 132.9 for him. Dangerous Noob just behind him, we're 134.2. So the couple of opening lap times. Retrosity is just starting a lap, my apologies. DL Branco 131.0 for him in the Red Bull. Maestro's next to come across the line, and it should be provisional pole for him. It is indeed 130.1 in the Ferrari, and the Pro behind him just starting a lap, and Maestro has spun on the exit. Luckily he ghosted in time before NZ Pro came charging through. That would have been a scary moment. Nice job, just starting a lap. Ivy Whiffle's gone straight on at the second chicane. quite sure what's happened to him there. And here, unfortunately he's got his lap invalidated, but this is our debutant this evening to the Global Racing Network and also to GRL Tier 1, Lucas Percy in the Alpine. Currently gone out on the medium tyres. He's got this run invalidated, so he'll have to go again on this lap. Couple more lap times. Wreck Diver gone second with a 29.9. And Dylan Ark in the Haas, 129.8. Provisional pole for him so far. Obviously, still people to get lap times on the board, including this man, Tomgo Prof, who, as we saw last night on the Global Racing Network, took the Top Speed Racing League title for Season 1 in some very strange circumstances. Obviously, just Moman, his main championship rival, crashed out in the midway through the race, and then in the final lap of the race we got a very heavy downpour of rain. They were all on dry tyres, and it was absolutely treacherous out there. I've never, like I say, I've never seen anything like that happen while I've been commentating on a race. It was really good to commentate on, and what a way to finish the season, as Tomgo Prof makes his run for the line then, and it's a 129.9, slots in behind Dylan. So Dylan Ark looking strong in the Haas as he enters the pit lane, so he'll be getting a fresh set on. But this isn't looking good for Tom at the minute. He's currently a 10th off pole. At the moment, ZenZ Pro making his way round, which is his teammate. Into the final few corners. This is looking tidy-ish for NZ Pro. We'll see what he can do here. DRS open. It's not going to be the quickest. It's P6 for the time being, 130.7, and somehow Mandro isn't on them inters now. I was going to say, I've got best tyres up, that's why. So Mandro has gone out on the mediums now and not regretted that. Maestro has crashed in the final corner. So, and he was currently sat P4, so he is out of the race. Or has he crashed coming into the pit lane? I'm not sure. I think he's crashed coming into the pit lane looking at that pointer. I think he's hit the outside wall on the pit entry and has crashed out. I'll double check that one for you, everybody. But I think he's crashed in the pit lane looking at that. Clearly going a bit too fast on the entry. Josh J's Gaming cross the line, 131.5. Gets a time on the board, up into P11. Mandro invalidated, he's gone straight on there. The old Branco just starting a lap in the Red Bull. Into the first chicane, nice and tidy through there. Sorry, this is the complex, should I say, not the first chicane. 5 attempts up on his best time for Dio Branco. Josh S. Gaming has crashed where he's just come through. There he is in the background. He is off the road. Has had a very big crash coming out of the complex. So Josh S. Gaming is out of the equation. Hopefully that car will get cleared up sooner rather than later. Lucas Percy, who's our debutant, has also sorry, not had a crash. He's retired in the pit lane, so that's okay. Clearly thinking he can't do any better with 8 minutes to go, which I don't know why you would retire that early, but unless he's just going to sit where he is and see what happens. Del Branco into the final corner. This is looking a very good lap from him. And it is looking like he may get into the top 5. Not quite in the end. He 130.4. P6 for Del Branco. So just not quite quick enough. There's a couple of quick guys out there tonight. Dangerous Noob just starting his lap. His teammate Dylan Ark currently on provisional pole. What can he do on this run as he makes his way into the first few corners? Goes a little bit deep into turn 1 there. Just about lives to fight another day. And he's got it invalidated. He's made contact with something. Gets out the way of Atrocity coming through. So he doesn't get a run. Ivy Whiffle. 130.6 is his best so far. Can he improve on his lap time? Right on board with him down the very long back straight. He's got Dangerous Noob ahead of him in the Haas. And just in front of him, he's got the Atrocity. So, not far off this group was Ivy Whiffle as he... It's looking like he's losing some time in that sector, unfortunately. He has gained a bit back. He went purple in the second sector. He wasn't a great first sector for him. Can he make up any time in the final sector? Well, he's looking fairly quick, to be fair. Looking nice and tidy, but he's got a little bit wide on the exit there and gets his lap invalidated. Mandro, that's more like we want him to see. On the medium tyres, 130.2 is his best. He got that run invalidated. He went straight on at the second chicane there. Tom go prof, can he knock Dylan off the peg as he enters the final corner? Now, it's not looking the best lap from him. Wait and see when he gets to the line, and the answer is it is actually. He gained a bit of time in that final corner, I think. 129.7. I thought he was going to be behind Dylan there, but Nick's ahead of Dylan by 1/10 of a second. Will we see that Haas re-emerge out the pit lane? The chances are I think we probably will. See if he can nick back provisional pole. Waffler, purple in the first sector. This is looking good for him as he makes his way down towards the second chicane. Very, very long back straight this. Then into a very twisty chicane and then another long back straight. After that, luckily everyone getting out the way slowly but surely. I wasn't sure what Waffler's split time was there. I wasn't quite looking at the screen at that point. Well, it's looking a tidy-ish lap. He now breaks into the final corner and goes pretty smooth actually. I thought he went a little bit deep for a second. Where is this going to put Waffler? The answer is a 130.1 and it puts him P4. So he does improve quite massively. See how Ivy Whiffle's got it all to do. Ends up pro just behind Waffler. Atrocity isn't improving. Dylan sucks at COD was, but he's got it invalidated. Dylan Ark is on an out lap to try and nick pole off Tom Go Prof. Tom Go Prof is in the pit lane, so I think that potentially might be he might not be done actually. If he can get out quick enough, he will get round to get a lap in. Very long lap here at France at Paul Ricard. It's right on board with Dylan. See if he can knock Tom off the perch, which Tom managed to knock him off just a couple of minutes ago as he makes his way into turn 1. Nice and steady, looked tidy-ish through there. Definitely using a bit of ERS just to try and close that gap. And he is improving. He's a 10th up, 10th and a half up on his previous time, so it was a purple first sector for him. He needs to get a little bit ahead of Tom though, just to see what he can do. But this is looking a very tidy lap from him in the Haas. Down the back straight, only improving slightly in the second sector. I think he lost a bit of time in the chicane there. It goes nice and wide and tucks it back in really nicely actually. Using the curbs as much as he can to try and help the car around the corners. Now he's just got to try and straight line it for the line. And what is it going to be for Dylan Hart? The answer is it's provisional pole. It's 2 tenths better than his best time. It's a 1:29.6. Will Tom respond to that? We'll have to wait and see. I don't think Tom will get round quick enough, to be fair, to get a lap in. So Tom might lose out on pole position here, which might be the first time in a long time we've seen that. DL Branco goes first fastest with a 1:29.5. Half a tenth quicker than Dylan. Dylan isn't improving, so it looks like it might be DL Branco's day. Wreck Diver obviously just starting a lap. Getting to the tail end now. Now Mosquito into the pit lane, he's not going to improve. Next to come across the line will be Nice Job. With Vitrosity behind him who's on an out lap, so Vitrosity needs to be quick about it though if he's gonna set a lap. I think he might have left this a little bit too late. And he isn't gonna get round quick enough. Vitrosity is into the pit lane. Nice Job, heads for the line and finishes. And it is an improvement, it's P3 for Nice Job. So jumps ahead of Tom. That could get interesting. Waffler to the line, can't improve unfortunately. NZ Pro can't do the same either. And Dylan is into the pit lane, we knew he wasn't improving anyway. Is DL Branco going to go faster? The answer is no, he's into the pits. The only man who could really do some damage is either Wreck Diver or Mandro. Mandro is invalidated, so he will not be able. The only man who can do something is Wreck Diver as he makes his way to the line then. Crosses the line, 1:29.6. It's P3 for Wreck Diver. It has not been a very good qualifying session for Tom at all. And that is the end of qualifying. DL Branco takes pole position then from Dylan alongside him in second place. Wreck Diver starts P3. Nice Job is P4. Tom Go Prof is down in P5. Waffler is down in P6. Maestro's P7. Lucas Percy P8. Mandro's P9. Ivy Whiffles is P10. NZ Pro is down in P11. Vitrosity's P12. Josh JS Gaming is P13. Deadly Mosquito is P14. Dylan Sucks at Cobb P15, and Dangerous Noob is at the back in P16. So guys, stay tuned and we'll be back shortly for the race. Welcome back, guys, to the Global Racing Network, the formation lap for round number 5 of GRL Season 3 Tier 1 is underway. Dale Branco is on pole position then in the Red Bull. He's got Dylan Ark alongside him in the Haas in second. Wreck Diver is starting P3 today, one of his best qualifyings of the season so far. Nice job with one of his best qualifyings as well is P4. Tomgo Prof is out of the equation a little bit here. He's down in P5. It's not all said and done from there, to be fair, but I'm sure he would have liked to have thought he would be starting a bit higher than that. Waffler is starting P6. Maestro will be starting P7 on the grid. Not his best qualifying either, to say the least. Lucas Percy on his Global Racing Network and GRL Tier 1 debut is starting P8. Mandro is starting P9 in the Aston Martin. Ivy Whiffle is starting P10. NZ Pro starting P11. Vitrosity is starting P12. Josh's Gaming is starting P13, and Deadly Mosquito is at the back in P14, with Dylan Stux at COD P15 and Dangerous Noob P16, who have been reset to the grid. Majority outside the top 10 opting for the medium tyres, apart from Deadly Mosquito. Lucas Percy and Mandro both qualified on the mediums inside the top 10, so they have a bit of a tyre advantage at the start of this race. They'll be able to do a one stop rather than having to do a two stop race, as Dale Branco makes his way to the grid then. There is Dylan Sucks at COD and Dangerous Noob at the back, who have been reset to grid. I think there may have been some contact between the two of them on the formation lap, so they will be reset to grid as the cars slot into position. Like I say, we will be ready to go here at Paul Ricard. Round number 5 of GRL Tier 1 action for you. So the final cars slot into position then. We are good to go and go to 5 red lights here at Paul Ricard. It's lights out and away we go, and it's a good getaway from Dale Branco. Dylan Hart bogged down a little bit. Wreck Diver's going to draw alongside him into turn 1. Tomgo Prof trying to get past. Nice job in the early stages. Wreck Diver up the inside of Dylan Hart, but Dylan Hart defends it very well. And there's a contact at the back, and that involves Waffler off the road, spinning out off the road, should I say, in the early stages. So Dale Branco still leads the way then. Dylan Hart second. Wreck Diver is third. Nice job just behind him in P4. Tom's still staying P5. Lucas Percy has had a brilliant start in the Alpine. He's up to P6 from P8 in the very early stages, but Tomgo Prof is trying to bump draft. Nice job down the straight and try and get a move done into the chicane. He can't quite do it there, unfortunately, and has to sit back on that occasion. As the leader, Dale Branco, not really getting away from Dylan Ark here. Still chasing hard on board with Dylan as we make our way through the final sector for the first time. Nice and tidy through there from Dylan. And Tom has got past. Nice job behind, so Tom is up to 4th there. You can see the position has been swapped. Now we're going to need to Joe back, as his nice job going to go backwards here. He's got a charging Lucas Percy right close to him. Lucas, as we know, on the medium tyres, he's going to try and do an aggressive one-stop strategy. And there is the pit strategy powered by AWS. Medium to hard is the order of the day, or soft medium medium, which a lot of the runners who started on the soft tyre will be trying to do today. Lucas is all over the back. Oh, nice job here, but has a very big kick of oversteer there, just has to correct it. I think he got a little bit sideways on the curb. We've got a yellow in sector 2, that is Deadly Mosquito round. at the back. Dangerous Noob is also out of the race. He has had a crash, and that's a virtual safety car. So that will slow the field down a little bit. Whether it will be upgraded to a full safety car, I'm not sure. I don't think it will be. It's the car is fairly out of the way, to be honest. So Dangerous Noob we have lost in the very early stages. As we wait for the restart to go, Dylan Ark trying to get as close as he can. Dylan Ark into the pit lane, that's a very interesting call. I don't think anybody else is pitting around him. Maestro is. Well, that's a very interesting call from Dylan Ark. This needs to be pretty good from the Haas mechanics to make sure he's going to be able to get back in. Medium tyres for Dylan Ark, medium tyres for Maestro. So they have committed to the two-stop race, but are going to drop to the back of the field because the field was so already bunched up. But they will be able to catch up a little bit behind the safety car because of the delta. Maestro's got a drive through penalty though, unfortunately, for speeding under the virtual safety car. And I think Dylan Ark may have picked up the same thing as well, but Red Diver is out of the race. What has happened to Red Diver? He's crashed on the inside and pulled off. Has he crashed or is he just pulled off the racetrack? I can't quite tell, but he is out. So that is another retirement from the race, unfortunately. No virtual safety car this time, so they can continue racing. Ivy Whiffle has gained a handful of positions due to pit stops around him. Lucas Percy's up to P3 after Dylan pitted ahead of him, and Lucas Percy has actually jumped nice job on the restart, so he's looking very good for the Alpine driver. Like I say, on the medium tyres, we'll be able to do a one-stop pretty comfortably without having to worry too much. But he's cutting his way through the field at the minute as we head on to lap 4. And Lucas Percy has just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with 1:37.7 in the early stages. Behind, Waffler's trying to make a move on Dylan Sucks at Codding's turn 1 round the outside. That's a great move, is that, from Waffler up into 9th place, but Dylan might try and fight it back. Going into the complex, Dylan has a look down the inside, can't do it there. There's a nice little tussle between these two. Dylan obviously on the slower tyres, starting on the medium tyres, but it looks like Waffler has held position. That's a great move into turn 1 from Waffler, that. But Dylan may try and come back at him here. Down the back straight, DRS assistance into the chicane. I think he's got it done. Waffler's going to try and hang it round the outside. Contact between the two of them. Josh Jess Gaming is out of the session, out of the race, sorry. He has DNF'd. And Dylan sneaks back ahead of Waffler out of all that. Now, is Josh's car parked in a dangerous position? And will it trigger a virtual safety car? The answer to that is no, because the marshals have got it cleared away very quickly indeed. As we head on to lap 5, Lucas Percy DRS on Tomgo Prof. Lucas Percy is the man on the move at the minute. On their medium tyres, they seem to be working really well for him. Fastest lap after fastest lap for him so far. And he's looking in a very comfortable position. Meanwhile, just behind, Mandro is defending from Ivy Whiffle. Ivy Whiffle obviously on the quicker, softer tyres. Mandro will need to try and defend here. Ivy Whiffle will have DRS to try and close in and potentially make a move into the chicane. Is he going to have a look? He moves out. He makes the move down the inside. Contact. He actually forces Mandro to go down the escape road. And Mandro has stayed ahead. Will he have to give the position? The answer to that is yes. Mandro has to give the position back to Ivy Whiffle. So Ivy Whiffle up into 5th place out of all of that. As Dylan looking to try and make a move on Waffler once again. Scrapping at the front. But a bit of a closer battle and a more important battle is Tom Go Prof having to defend from Lucas Percy. Lucas Percy will get DRS down the front straight. As he pulls out on Tom, he's going to have a look down the inside on board with Lucas. Tom Go Prof's to the outside. Lucas sweeps around him into 2nd place. Great move that from Lucas Percy. And Tom is looking a little bit on the back foot this evening. It wasn't a great qualifying from him, to say the least. Only qualified P5 on the grid. And so far, it doesn't really look like it's going away. Yellow at Sector 1. Vitrosity has had an incident down at the 2nd corner. I think he may have had a spin. Dylan Ack sets the fastest lap of the race. 1:32.9 for him. So quicker than Lucas's time. Lucas's Alpine is looking very, very twitchy indeed in front. He's got plenty of ERS to defend from Tom. Tom has drained his battery already, so he's going to have to do a little bit from that. Meanwhile, further behind, this battle rages on. Dylan sucks at Cobb versus Waffler. Waffler's got the inside line and cuts across Dylan and keeps the place, but Dylan is still there, and he's going to have a lunge up the inside. I think he may have gone a little bit tight on the corner. He did indeed. He gives the backs out of the position to Waffler. It did look like he cut the corner a little bit there. He lost it. Meanwhile, nice job on Tom into the pit lane. So is Tom committing to the 2-stop strategy? The answer to that is yes. He's gone on to a set of mediums. Nice job. Also onto a set of mediums from the soft tyres. So Lucas Percy has actually got past DL Branco. I've completely missed that. DL Branco must have made a mistake somewhere, because Lucas Percy is now up into the race lead. Branco will get DRS to try and close back in on board with him. Is he really struggling with tyre wear, Branco? I'm not sure. The softs are only 6 laps old, so it'll be very interesting to say the least if he is. But Lucas is looking very, very comfortable out front at the minute. There is an incident. Vitrosity is out the race. Are we going to see anything for that? And that is a safety car. So we do see something from it. What has happened to Vitrosity? The answer is he's crashed on the inside onto the main straight, and it's a very big incident. So now the leaders need to make a call. Do they pit or do they stay out? The answer is they pit. Lucas Percy in. DL Branco is also in. Mandro will follow them in as well. So they also might be committing to the 2-stop strategy. Will Dylan stay out? The answer to that is no. He is in. Waffler's in. Enzo Pro is in. Deadly Mosquito is trying to sneak past him there. Nice job. Will be staying out because he's just gone out on them tyres. So are Ivy Whiffle, so is Tom. So where is this going to bring out Lucas Percy? The answer is the race lead. He still maintains it. Mandro has actually jumped DL Branco in the pits, so Mandro has gained a position out of all that. DL Branco must have had wing damage or something, or had a very slow stop. So Mandro up to 2nd place as they form up behind the Aston Martin safety car this evening. And guys, as always, during the safety car period, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back shortly for the restart. Welcome back, guys, to the Global Racing Network. The safety car is about to come in at the end of this lap, and we'll be green once again. Lucas Percy leading the way in the Alpine then, in Alpine's home race. When is he going to go? The answer is he has gone very early on indeed, and has got the jump by the looks of things on the rest of the field as we go green once again here at Paul Ricard, and Lucas Percy has got a very big jump on the rest of the field as we go over the line. Already gained nearly a second gap to Mandro, who is in second place. Obviously Mandro is on fresher tyres and is closing the gap pretty quickly as they make their way into the complex for the 10th time this evening. Lap 10 out of 27. And Mandro has just put in the fastest first sector of anybody, so he is coming after Lucas Percy. closing a little bit and a little bit down the straight, and he's not even using any ERS or anything to aid him in that. Unfortunately, during the safety car period, we did lose Vitrosity, which brought out the safety car, which I'm sure will be disappointed. No points for McLaren today whatsoever, which is a bit of a rarity between them two. Vitrosity and Wreck Diver, they're normally consistent point scorers, but it just doesn't look like it was their day today. Still right on board. Tomgo Prof is just dispatching of Ivy Whiffle and does so pretty smoothly. And out the final corner, will Mandro have a lunge up into turn 1? Soon wait and see. Mandro 1:32.3. Pretty good lap time from him. Made the way down the back straight once again. Mandro having a look on Lucas Percy, but can't make a move there. It's turning into a nice little tussle, this. Meanwhile, NZ Pro defending from Dylan Sutsat-Cod. Dylan Sutsat-Cod has snuck through. NZ Pro's going to try and come back at him though. Tripping over these two. Dylan Ark's getting involved in there as well. And so is Maestro and Deadly Mosquito just behind. This is turning into a really nice battle, this, as they make their way through the corner. Oh, and Dylan Ark is out of the race. He has spun out. He was racing really, really hard with that group. He's managed to keep it out of the wall, which is crucial. But that battle has deflated in a matter of moments for Dylan Ark. He's at the back of the field and falling away. Meanwhile, Mandro senses his chance on Lucas Percy. He's going to try and go the long way round, and he gets the move done. Great move. Late on the brakes from Mandro. And he gets himself up into first place. Dio Branco not far behind these two either. But Lucas Percy will get DRS on Mandro this lap. Going down the back straight, which will bring him within touching distance. Mandro knows what's coming and ducks down low. On board with Del Branco behind these two. Lucas looked like he might have went a little bit deep there. Mandro's picked up a 3-second penalty. That is good music to the ears if you're Lucas Percy and Del Branco, because it means you are up a position automatically as long as you can stay within 3 seconds of them. Will Lucas Percy try and make the move on the road? I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Mandro is looking very sketchy out there, to be honest. He seems to be going a bit deep into quite a few corners. Mandro still sitting there. Del Branco still sitting behind as well. Noise Job's quite a distance off this group, so they don't really need to worry about him at the minute. Once again, DRS. Lucas Percy has DRS on Mandro. He's not using any overtake. He's using a bit of overtake now. Will he have a lunge up the inside of Mandro? The answer to that is yes. Side by side between the two of them. Mandro has to defend quite hard. Lucas Percy has to give up, but he will try and get past him out of the chicane. Mandro got a bad exit. And Lucas Percy is into the race lead in the Alpine, as has very much brought DL Branco into play, on board with him as they make their way through the next couple of corners. Mandro just about holding his cool from DL Branco. Will he try and make a move on Lucas Percy here? Into turn one, it might be a bit regretful if he does and he decides to sit behind him, which is the sensible thing, and wait for the longer straight. But Lucas Percy got quite a good exit and gained a bit of time on Mandro there. Yellow in sector 3. Dylan Ark has retired in the pit lane, so he's done the right thing, but he is the 5th casualty of this French Grand Prix here in GRL. He is out, unfortunately, of the race. Mandro falling off the back of Lucas Percy here. DL Branco staying with Mandro as much as he can and may try and make a move at some point whenever the opportunity arises. At the minute he just needs to stay with him and stay close to him, but at the minute Mandro's got DRS to defend, so unless Lucas Percy breaks away, DL Branco's got no chance really of getting past at the minute, with Mandro getting DRS in front to defend the position. Once again, Mandro closing onto the back of Lucas Percy, but Lucas Percy's just getting the much better exits on Mandro. Mandro's closing in, going into a corner, and then he's losing ground on the exit. Lucas Percy definitely has a lot more traction on their medium tyres, and you'd think he'd try and go a fair way into this race on them before he decides to make his other pit stop, if he does decide to make one. But Mandro definitely struggling for grip. DL Branco closing the gap quite significantly again. And it looks like DL Branco is starting to get into position now where he is close enough to make a move. Meanwhile, further behind, Tom Prof on nice job, gets the move done nice and tidy. Tom up into 4th place, so that will be a little bit alarming for the leaders. This race could go right to the wire in the final few stages. Obviously Tom has got 6.5 seconds to make up before he even reaches them. Mandro going defensive. DL Branco using as much overtake as he can. He will make a move up the inside of Mandro. Will Mandro try and hang on to it? They make contact between the two of them, but DL Branco gets ahead in the corner, and DL Branco is up into 2nd place. So DL Branco up into 2nd now. Will he try and make a move on Lucas Blakely? That is going to be the crucial question here. Sorry, Lucas Percy, sorry. Getting too obsessed with the esports driver. Ivy Whiffle has just got past Maestro, but Maestro has also dropped down the field. His Maestro had a problem. It looked like he may have had. He lost a handful of positions there. He's still going though, and Mandro has spun! Mandro in the Aston Martin has spun round, looped it round. Tom's up to third, Noise Job's up to fourth, Mandro rejoins in fifth, but he had a moment there on the exit of turn 2. So Dio Branco now has it all to do at the front with Lucas Percy on board with Dio Branco into the second chicane. And Lucas so far defending it well in the Alpine. Dio Branco closing slowly but surely onto him. As yellow in sector 3, and Mandro is round again. I think Mandro's tyres might be done, to be honest, because that's 2 times he's had a spin in 1 lap. Back to the front. Still the closest battle on track so far at the minute. Dio Branco still doing well. Is experience going to pay off, or is it going to be a Tier 1 debut win for Lucas Percy? We'll have to wait and see in the latter stages of this race. Dio Branco is surely going to have to pit again, you would think. And Lucas Percy will also have to pit again, because they have both not changed compound of tyres. Both have to pit. Tom's 11 laps. Maybe Tom and Noise Job might be able to go to the end. They have both changed compounds. So has Ivy Whiffle as well. So they could really do with trying to grow a gap here. Lucas Percy and Dio Branco, rather than fighting. I'm pretty sure that is the situation anyway. I'll just check the race director. Yes, so Lucas Percy and Dio Branco need to stop again because they have not changed compounds. NZ Pro does as well. So does Deadly Mosquito. So that could be touch and go going into the end of this race. As meanwhile, Noise Job and Tom go prof, scrapping for what will be the net race lead by the time the pit stops have been completed. So will Noise Job have a go at Tom with DRS? We know it's not been Tom's race to be so far. He does have DRS, but I don't think he's going to be close enough on this occasion, his Noise Job, unfortunately. So Tom stays where he is. Noise Job will try and close the gap again. As Mandro has entered the pit lane and has picked up a penalty for speeding into the pits. So Mandro has got that to serve at the end of this race, on top of the 3-second penalty he picked up in the early stages as well. And at the front, DL Branco is losing ground on Lucas Percy here. 1.5 seconds is the gap. We're going to go back to the battle for the net lead. With Nice Job trying to get past Tom Prof if he physically can. Both on the same tyres, both on the same age of tyres. Will they go to the end of the race or not? It remains to be seen. But we know for a fact Lucas Percy and DL Branco will have to stop again because they've not changed compound. At the back, that is Deadly Mosquito round in the Williams. So he has had a spin there. And has dropped behind his teammate now. As is that what I just thought it was? We're not going to get it for 2 races in a row, are we? No, we are indeed. We have rain falling here at Paul Ricard. I can't believe this has happened again. So this has played into Lucas Percy and DL Branco's hands like an absolute treat. As this, they can basically stay as long as it is, and even change on the last lap to intermediate tyres. Maestro has already come in for Inters. Deadly Mosquito is in for Inters as well. So they're all changing tyres. Is it becoming very greasy out there? The track looks dryish at the minute. It's a bit greasy in places. The mistake they don't want to do here is go on to Inters a bit too early. That's the crucial thing. So Lucas Percy is staying out another lap, so is DL Branco. Will Tom go Prof and Nice Job try and see it out just to make sure they're ahead? That could be another strategy play that they could impose. On board with Nice Job. He has got DRS still, as it's not raining heavy enough. It becomes very overcast here at Paul Ricard. Rain starting to fall, and will very shortly make the track very greasy indeed. But it might not be the changeover point yet, because Mandro has just set the fastest lap of the race on a set of soft tyres. So the changeover point might not be here yet. See, the rain is falling, we know that. DL Branco is struggling, to say the least, on them soft compounder tyres, unless he's just going to try and see it out if he can until it comes to a stage where wets are a must. Lucas Percy picked up DRS from one of the back markers, Deadly Mosquito, who entered the pit lane. Nice Job, still chasing after Tom here. Again, still not wetting off the track to go to Inters yet. It will get to the stage where you will need to go to Inters. But at the minute, it seems like the dry tyres are just working fine. And there's no need to go to the inters yet. There is a bit of pulling starting to appear on the track. Nice job around the outside of Tom Go Prof. He senses his chance. Nice job. Will he cut ahead of Tom aggressively? The answer to that is yes. So as it stands, if no tyres need to be changed, nice job, is into the net race lead. Will Tom Go Prof try and fight it back? That is going to be the crucial question. But it looks very, very wet out there now. The track, I don't think, is still quite wet enough to warrant intermediate tyres. Dale Branco is in, that's interesting. And so is Tom. Is Dale Branco onto the inters? The answer is no, he is onto a set of mediums. That's a very big call indeed. Is Tom in? Tom is in for the inters. So, is there going to be some strategy call here? Was it the right strategy call? I'm not sure. I think it's touch and go which tyre is faster. There's no spray and DRS hasn't been disabled yet. So a bit of a mix of wet and dry tyres out there at the minute. Is it going to rain heavy enough to warrant the wet tyres? I don't know, but Maestro is off on a set of wet tyres in the final sector. There he is off the track. Ghosts through Luke Percy. Dale Branco chasing after Ivy Whiffle after making his pit stop. What tyres did Dale Branco go on to? I just need to double check that. I did go on soft, right, okay, so he has made his mandatory stop for a change of compound, and now there is water on the racetrack, and now it is definitely the inters that are going to be quicker out there. Lucas Percy has timed this well. Dale Branco might have made a pretty bad strategy call there. Ivy Whiffle is in. He will be in for the inters. The inters will start to come into their own now. The track is now damp. And interestingly, that's another very big call. Ivy Whiffle onto a set of softs. I don't think anybody knows which is the quicker tyre at this point. My gut feeling saying it's going to be the inters, just because there's now water collecting on the track. As it stands though, there isn't any spray kicking up. So will Lucas Percy pit? That is going to be the crucial thing. If he pulls far enough ahead of Nice Job, he might actually get out ahead of Nice Job, to be fair. The answer is Lucas Percy is in now. Now this is a big call. Is he going to be on to the inters, or is he going to be onto the wet? Onto the dries. Let's see. The answer is dry tyres. He's going on to the softs on that car. Again, another brave call. Will he get out ahead of Nice Job? It's going to be very, very tight between the two of them. I think Nice Job is into the lead, and he is indeed. So Nice Job takes the lead of the race from Lucas Percy, but Lucas Percy can go after Nice Job on a set of fresh tyres. Again, the track is very, very wet now. I don't know how they're managing to keep it on the island out there, but Lucas Percy has got past. Nice job, that's great driving from him round the outside. I didn't even see that move coming when he made the move there. Great move by Lucas Percy, nice job. Will try and fight it back though, he's still got DRS down the back straight. But it is treacherous conditions out there now. Are the inters starting to come into use? A lot of people are putting the inters on. Deadly Mosquito is out of the race. He's the 6th casualty this evening. So we've lost 6 cars. But it looks like so far, as long as nothing drastic happens in the last lap of the race, it looks like the drives were the right way to go. And it looks very much like Lucas Percy is going to take a debut win here in GRL Tier 1. It's his debut race in that Alpine, and it looks like it's going to go the way of him here this evening at Paul Ricard. And it looks like it's going to be a home win for Alpine as well. Who would have said that one was coming? As it always, very treacherous out there. Lucas Percy stepping on the throttle and sliding around the corner just to try and get home here. But this is the battle for second. Nice job of Dale Branco side by side with it, the two of them. Nice job has to give way, and Dale Branco is into second place. But it looks like it is going to go the way of that man right there, Lucas Percy, who, to be fair, has driven a brilliant race. P8 on the grid. He started in that Alpine, and it looks like he's played the right strategy calls. And it looks like he is going to get a win if he can keep it on the island in that Alpine and take a debut win here in GRL, a debut Global Racing Network win as well, as he's struggling to get that car around the final few corners. He's going to make his way around onto the front straight, kicking the oversteer into drive. Lucas Percy wins the French Grand Prix here in GRL. He comes home to win in first place. Dale Branco has another good finish in that Red Bull. He comes home for second place. Nice job comes home for third. Ivy Whiffle will come home hopefully for fourth if he can stay ahead of Tom. I think he's got some penalties to serve, so I think he will drop down to fifth place unfortunately in the last stages. Ivy Whiffle crosses the line, but it'll be Tom Go Prof who comes home in fourth place. Ivy Whiffle comes home in fifth. NZ Pro will come home in sixth position. Double point scoring day for Mercedes today. NZ Pro is across the line in sixth. Dylan Sutz at COD will come home for seventh place. Maestro will come home for P8. Waffler will come Maestro will come home for P8, Waffler for P9, and Mandro crashed out on the last lap will come home for 10th. So it's that man right there on top of the world in GRL this evening. Lucas Percy takes a debut win in the Alpine. It's a home race win for Alpine as well. A really, really good race from them. Plenty of action, as always, up and down the field. The dries in the end were just about the right call to get to the end of the race. And I think everyone just about timed it right. Unexpectedly, Dylan Sucks at COD gets driver of the day. Not bad, to be fair. He did start well down the field. Deserved driver of the day, in my opinion. Guys, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.